Hey guys, it's Mr. Walker here. Welcome to another math lesson with Mr. Walker. I'm going to try to keep this one short today, keep it brief, because really what we're doing today is kind of a continuation on some things we've been doing in some other lessons, okay? So we've been working with multiplication, obviously, and one of the things we've been doing with multiplication is multiplying bigger and bigger numbers, right? So starting out with like just single digit and then looking at a double digit by a single digit, and that's something that we practiced in a previous lesson. So today we're going to continue on with that, and we're going to move into triple and even quadruple digit numbers. So 4-digit numbers, multiplying them all by a single digit. So we're going to kind of be practicing those same skills. So if you're not familiar with those previous lessons, you might want to go back and take a look and practice those a little bit more before we move on. Now we're going to be also using a couple different strategies. Really, we're going to be starting out with the partial products method, right? So kind of multiplying using our place value and keeping all of those numbers in order, getting those partial products, and then adding them up at the end. This is going to lead us eventually to the standard algorithm. Now, in 4th grade, we don't really get too into the standard algorithm. We more kind of focus on the partial products. We worry about moving into the standard algorithm in 5th grade, but we're going to kind of at least preview it a little bit here and start to make those connections for those of you that may already be using that method or may be familiar with it, and then doing a bit of previewing for those of you that haven't seen it, and then so you guys can be ready for it next year when it comes around, or whenever you're ready for it. So let's go ahead and get into this, get started, and do some multiplication. Make sure you got something to write on, something to write with. If you do have a place value chart, that could help as well, but if not, you can always just sketch one out on your paper. So once you have those things and you're ready to go, just click play and we'll keep going. Alright guys, so the first problem we're looking at is 324 times 2. So we're multiplying 324 2 times, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 and we're going to go through each one of these place values. We're going to multiply the 2 by the 4, and then by the 2, and then by the 3. What we're going to have to keep in mind when we get here to this 2 is that 2 is really worth 20. So we're going to be doing 2 times 20 and then 2 times 300, right? So I'm going to use this place value chart to help me out, to help me kind of keep things organized here. And if I start out and I do 2 times 4, well, it's 4 ones, 2, 3, 4, and that we're doing it 2 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a total of 8, okay? It's going to be 8 ones there. Perfect. Now we're going to go to the next row here. We're going to do the 2. So I'm going to do the value of this 2, which is 20. I'm going to do it 2 times. So 20, that would be 2 tens. Then I'm going to do that 2 times. So that would give me 4 tens, or 40. Perfect. And then coming down here to my hundreds, I have 3 hundreds. I'm going to do that 2 times, right? So 1, 2, 3 hundreds. And do that 2 times. And that will give me a total of 6 hundreds, right? 6 hundreds. Perfect. Now, these are what we call the partial products. These are part of our final product, right? It's part of the multiplication problem. So I have to take all of these parts and add them together to get my final answer, the final product. So 8 plus 0 will give me 8. 4 and 0 is 4, and 6. So 648 will be the answer to this problem, okay? To start to make some connections between this and the standard algorithm. So in the standard algorithm, we do the same thing. We just kind of group our partial products differently. Let me explain what I mean here. So if I had that same 324, now we're multiplying it by 2. All right, so we'd start here with the ones. We go 2 times 4, which would give me 8, okay? Now I'm going to move over to the 2. This time we're not going to worry about the value of the 2 being a 20. We're just going to think of it as 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I'm putting that in the tens place because that's where we started. Same thing over here, right? We started in the tens place. That number was a 10. So when we multiply, our number is going to be in the tens place, okay? So 2 times 2 is 4. It goes in the tens place. 2 times 3 is 6. Since we're multiplying by the hundreds, it's going to go in the hundreds place in our answer. So our answer would be 648. We can make that connection there, okay? So right now we're focusing on this strategy, on using our partial products, even using the place value chart to help us. That's our goal. If you're starting to make this connection, that's great. You don't have to, though. You don't have to go this route yet. This is still where we're focusing on, all right? Awesome. Let's take a look at another example real quick. All right, guys, so in this example, we have 605 times 4. So we're going to do that 605. We're going to do it 4 times, okay? Again, we're going to start in the ones, okay? I'm going to do 5 ones. I'm going to do that 4 times. So I'm going to come over here to my ones, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have those 5 ones 4 times, right? But something's happening here. I got too many ones in this place value, right? For each group of 1 that I have here, I can regroup them. I can put them together into tens. So what I'm going to end up doing is I have 20 ones here, so they're actually going to turn into 2 tens. These 20 ones are going to come over here to 2 tens. So that would be 20, right? 5 times 4 is 20. We kind of know that anyway, but this is just kind of representing it using place value, okay? So 5 times 4 is 20. Good. Through the ones. Now let's go on to the tens. 4 times 0. Well, 4 times 0, tens, is going to give me 0, right? I'm not going to have anything. So I can write a 0 in here if I'd like to just kind of keep my mind on track here as far as knowing that this is my ones, these are my tens, these are my hundreds. You don't have to write this 0 in here if you don't want to, because it's not gonna make a difference one way or the other in our answer, right? Cool. Now moving on to the hundreds. 6 times 4. Well, again, if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if I do that 4 times, I'm gonna have 24. Alright, so if I have 24 of these hundreds, again, if I have a group of 10, they can move over to our thousands if I need to. And in that case, we would have 2 groups of 10 with 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. So that is 2 thousands, 4 hundreds, okay? Now I have all my partial products here. They're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and add them up. All of these zeros will make 0. 2 and 0 would be 2, 4, 2. So 2,420 would be our answer. So this one is a little bit different because we had to do some regrouping, right? We ended up with too many digits in the place value for each place value. Like our ones, we had 20 of them, so we had to regroup them, make them into tens. And our hundreds, we had too many hundreds, so we had to regroup them and make them thousands. Now, if we did follow that standard algorithm way of doing things, something similar is going to happen, okay? I should probably write the right number in here, 605, okay. So when we multiply through with our ones, we're gonna get 20, right? 4 times 5 is 20. So we just have to think of that number 20 in terms of its place value. And we're going to write it like so. We're going to put the ones in the number 20. We're going to write that down. We're going to carry our tens over here to the tens place. Okay. Then when we multiply through, 4 times 0 is 0. And we're actually going to add on those 2 extra tens. Okay. So we're going to just add those in. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 would be 2. And then we move on to the next place value, which is our hundreds. 6 times 4 is 24. Since I have no other place value out here, I don't have to keep going or try to regroup or anything like that. That final number just gets written in like that. And you can see we get to that same answer following those same steps either way. Okay. Hopefully this is starting to click, make a little bit of sense. Let's just go ahead and just take a look at one more example. All right, now we're moving into the 4 digits, right? So this one's going to get, let's say, tricky, but we're going to have some extra steps involved, I guess. All right, so let's just jump in and do this one here. Why don't you guys go ahead and take a shot at this one? Use the same strategies that you know of, what you think you would use, and then we'll come back and talk about it together in a second. All right, so for this one again, we're going to start in our ones place, okay? And I'm going to try to do this one without the place value chart this time, just to try to keep my mind in track here, okay? We have 9 times 4. So I know my times tables. 9 times 4 is going to give me 36, right? So I'm just going to write down my 36 here. Perfect, okay? Then we're going to do my tens. So this is really 4 times 70, right? We could think of it that way, 4 times 70. So 4 times 7 would give me 28. So 4 times 70 would give me 280. Okay, 280. Come over here to my hundreds place. 4 times 3 is 12, but I'm in the hundreds, so that's got to be 12 hundreds. So that would end up regrouping into 1,000 and 200s, okay? And I'm keeping all of my place value lined up here as well, so when I add them up, I don't get confused and screw something up in that way. And then last but not least, we got 6 times 4. That's going to be 24, and it's going to be 24,000. So it's actually going to be 2 10,000s, 4,000s. Let's see, 2 10,000s, 4,000s. And then the rest are zeros. There we go. Now we have all of those partial products there. We have them all lined up and ready to go. So I'm going to add up my ones and my tens And my hundreds, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And my thousands, so there we go, 25,516. So that's what it would be if we got our partial products, we added them all up. That's the answer we'd end up with, okay? So hopefully this is starting to make sense. You guys are feeling a little more fluid with this. Again, if you have that standard algorithm way down, if you like using that, that's totally fine. We are practicing with the partial products for now, though. So if you are doing some of your coursework and stuff like that, you might see some practice in there using that. So go ahead and practice with that a little bit. But if you're feeling it start to move towards that standard algorithm, that's okay too. But have some fun with this, guys. Practice it out. Let me know if you need anything, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.